Sorry. So, okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry about that. I wanted to give you a brief update. I don't have the best news this evening. Okay. We have gotten an update this afternoon that the one-to-one initiative that we were beginning at the Hanover Area School District has about 1,500 of our computers still being held up in limbo for about 2 to 3 more weeks. Okay, so what's going to happen right now is we are going to proceed forward with the start of school. It's not in the best manner right now, but what we're going to do is we have opened a link on our website today and prepare to try to help families the best we can to get us through the next 2 to 3 weeks. Okay, we have started a link that's going to have families in the highest need that if you're absolutely in dire straits for a computer, a laptop, any type of desktop that we have, we started to program today to get us through the next 3 weeks. So on our website, if you clicked on our website, it's going to be for families that are in desperate need to get a computer. This would be in a distribution that we would be hosting on Friday and Saturday. We're going to send out information on precise times over this upcoming Friday and Saturday morning on to pick up the families that need. Now, in the last community session, I had some families that asked, is it okay to use their computer or their smart device, which we said was okay in the past as long as it wasn't on our network. If families have a smartphone, a smart device, a tablet, anything that could get us through for the next 2 to 3 weeks, and we can get those devices to the highest need population, I greatly appreciate if you could use those devices for the next 2 to 3 weeks just to help us get through. I know this is not ideal, folks. We have ordered these back in July, and there was an article in today's paper to confirm and reaffirm what I'm telling you now, that the country is waiting on 5 million Chromebooks. So districts across the United States, not just Pennsylvania, are waiting on these laptops. I'm not making excuses. I'm just trying to tell you the reality that everybody else had the same idea that we do. And now it's up to me, you, everybody on this call, and every parent within our community to figure out how we begin education until October the 1st, which is the estimated time of arrival, how we get students to be educated. Now, to ease your mind, we will still be going in a live fashion. That was a big sticking point for families when we did the surveys over the last couple of weeks. A biggest sticking point for you as parents and you as guardians was that you wanted folks to be able to have access to your teachers because some of you didn't know the content. I get that. We'll still have the availability to you. However, the key to this is that we as a district have to lessen and lighten our attendance policies because of the fact that we understand for the next 2 to 3 weeks, siblings may be sharing a device. So as I told you 2 weeks ago, that everybody is going to be tracked their time on the computer. You need to be in front of the computer for a day's worth of education. We understand, and the reality has set in, that that is not a possibility when you have one device with 3 children of all different school age. So we are in contact with the Department of Education on how we lighten what they call synchronized tracking. Synchronized tracking means we were trying to synchronize your child's online learning and match it with the school day and synchronize the two together. So we're going to try to scale that back, and we will be able to because we understand every single school district in the Wyoming Valley, okay, neighboring districts, Nanticoke, Wilkes-Barre area, they got the same message we did today. We were all getting the same shipment through our local IU-18 region, which is the Luzerne County Intermediate Unit for Education. So they received the same message we did. So it's not as though a neighboring district's going to receive these and we are not. They're behind, we're ahead, vice versa, whatever it is. We're all in the same boat here. So we're going to reach out figure out how we scale this back. So it may be back to assignments that are due in 24 hours versus due daily. Okay, so we're meeting with our teachers first thing in the morning because we got this information this afternoon. We're meeting with our teachers in the morning to let them know that we're going to sit here, we're going to work together with them to lighten up our attendance policies and understand that families may be sharing one device, might be a smartphone, might be a tablet, whatever it might be. But what I will do throughout the course of the next 3 weeks is I will consistently hold meetings such as this, or a simple text message once or twice a week to let you know what the updated tracking information is on the computers and get us to normalcy as quickly as possible. I want to let you know this is not an issue that is a fault of anybody within the Hanover Area School District. Again, it was something that was in the newspaper this morning, that 5 million devices are not shipped to the United States yet. So we're waiting on some of those 5 million, unfortunately. I apologize. I like to be a person of my word, remain credible with you and the community. So this is not something that I like to do, tell you something and not come through. So I'm going to open it up for some questions now. I have hoped that I've answered some, or that I've answered many questions that you may have already had, but I will take as much time as I need to clarify anything, ease your mind, and hopes that folks could work with us over the next 3 weeks with either your own device. But if you're in dire straits, please log on to the district website. There will be a link there to request a device. For those of you who do have a device, there is online instructions on how to get into your Google Classroom. So those of you who have a device that you said to yourself on this call, no problem, we have a Chromebook here, we have a laptop here, my son has a tablet, an iPad, you're not stressed out about it, then you could get onto our website and now learn how to log onto your child's Google Classroom. As soon as we finish this call, instructions will be there. So we're trying to make this transition as seamless as possible, but I'm gonna open it up right now, okay? So Mrs. Kitchen will call community members' names and I will answer the questions to my ability.
If we used an HP device last year, will that still be compatible to this year to use? Will
Yes,
there be new required? Okay, so there will not be new required apps for us to download. So whatever we used last year will work.
There are only a few concerns that we have, and we will I have my IT director that's on this call. Okay, everything is web-based, so that anything that you need, you will have based on the internet. So as long as you can get on the internet, you're okay. But there was only a couple things that we were concerned about that we're working through, like certain Flash, Adobe Flash, and things that were needed to watch videos for the classroom. But we're working through those things. That's on our end. But if there's something that is out of my knowledge of technology, Mr. Hummer, our technology director, is on this call here. So if it's out of my skill set, he'll definitely pick up where that left off. So, but right now everything's web-based. There will not be anything that you need beyond what you have. Thank you.
I have a question about children who are going to be attending cyber school. I have yet to even get a call back from the guidance counselor, but would my daughter need the Chromebook to start that?
So there are computers that are set aside for those, but Amanda, I think we had spoken today. I think we were checking to see if we had the right number for you because we have 3 documented calls to you and an email out to you. So we got to make sure our contact information for you is accurate.
Okay, yeah, I have a question. Kelly has messaged me back nonstop.
Can everyone please stay muted until Mr. Barrett calls on you for a question, please?
I've heard from Kelly. I have not heard from Miss Mollery though. And Miss Mollery has my number and so does Kelly. So I don't understand how Kelly could message me, but Ms. Mueller, you cannot.
Okay. All right, so we'll be in touch in the morning. I know what we need to do.
Okay.
But I checked today from the message I received to you, and we do document when we reach out. And I checked today, and there was 3 different forms of communication out to you, Amanda. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
We have a question from Galaxy Tab A.
Probably. Hello, I'm LaShawn Gilliam, Jamia Gilliam's mom. I didn't get the first beginning of the meeting because I'm on my cell phone, so I didn't catch the beginning. What was you saying about the?
You muted yourself. You're muted.
Okay, I missed the beginning of your meeting because I'm calling you on my cell phone. I know Jamia is gonna need a tablet. So what were you saying about the tablets? They won't have it for Monday?
Sure. So if you're in dire straits, you have zero technology to work with, simply log on to our website, thehanoverarea.org, and there's a link there to submit a request for a device. Okay. And so I'm just asking families to work with me for the next couple weeks. So we'll give you a device. HanoverArea.org. So you go on there and you submit a request on that link, and that will give you a device to hold you over for the next several weeks until the Chromebooks come in, and then you'll have to return those devices, and then you'll get your Chromebook. Okay? These are just devices to hold you over.
Okay, so go online and do that. Okay.
Yep.
And it's okay. I'll do that. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So just
No
do
problem.
that, and I'll be fine. He'll be fine for Monday.
He will be. Yep. And we're gonna
Okay.
have LaShawn, we're gonna have a distribution on Friday and Saturday, and we're gonna set. Are you on the Remind app?
I believe so. I'm not sure.
Okay, so we're on Facebook and the Remind app. On Friday morning, we're gonna post times when we're gonna be doing the distribution on Friday and Saturday morning.
Okay.
In need.
I don't know what happened. I don't hear you anymore.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Sorry. All right. I'm sorry. Somebody didn't want to hear me anymore. I got muted. But it's Saturday morning and then Friday afternoon. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
I have a question. Oh, baby. I have questions too.
Hold on. Mrs. Kitchen will call you.
Wait.
You got to push the raise your hand option. Go ahead.
Okay, Michael Hawitzki. Michael?
Yes, I'll try not to stump you this time. Can you hear
Thanks,
me?
Mike. Appreciate it.
Yep. I just got 2 questions. So first one is the same login from last year. Is that going to be just happening again this year?
So, Mr. Hummer, you're on there. Is that the case?
Yes, that's the case. We will be using the same login format as we did in March going forward. It is the year of graduation, last name plus the first initial at hanoverarea.net. From grades 3rd to 12, their password is their first initial, their first name, first initial of their last name, plus their student ID. Their student ID they should know based off of the cafeteria. But if they need it, they could send an email. All the information, my email's on the website. But kindergarten through 2nd grade, their username will be, if you're a kindergarten student, 33, last name, first initial at hanoverarea.net. But their passwords are just going to be Hawkeye1. So that has not changed for K through 2. So everything is the same as last year. I just uploaded all students yesterday. They should be able to get in. I tested a few, and they were capable of getting in.
Okay. Now
That's where we're at right now.
I'm sorry. I did get back in, so I just wanted to make sure that's right. You can actually get the student ID off the progress reports if anybody has their progress report from last year too.
Right.
That's what I ended up doing.
And Mike,
But,
I don't want to interrupt you, but folks, if you were trying to write that down or hurry to figure out what that information Mr. Hummer was trying to give that Mike has, you go onto our website, the www.hanoverarea.org. The instructions are right there. What he explained is there in writing in a step-by-step process.
Yeah, you'll see it under letter about computers and Google logins for students. So just click that link and you'll get the information.
I don't mean to interrupt you guys, but when you go on the website, I'm at my work computer. When you go on the website, when you go to request for the computer, it says they're not allowing you to do it. They ask that you need permission.
Okay, so you could also send an email to rhummer@hanoverarea.net, or you could call my office phone number, which is right underneath the link. It's 570-831-2300, extension 392. So that information is there.
Okay, thanks.
And that's a setting. We'll adjust that right now.
Okay.
I'll get that fixed right now for you. That's just a setting. That's our fault.
Okay.
I had one more question too.
Go ahead, Mike.
I'm sorry. All right. So in the event, we actually ordered Paisley a Chromebook. So hers should be here by next week. If we didn't need the districts, would that help you guys out? Can you guys keep that for someone else that would need it? Is there?
I appreciate that.
Send you an email?
I appreciate that, but once we go back into the school,
yeah,
Mike, we'll be in touch, because in order for your child to bring that into the school to get onto the network, we're going to have some security issues, because every Chromebook that we have is linked to our internet and our network. And I hope I'm saying that right, Mr.
No, you got it. You got it.
You are.
Okay,
in order for a laptop to be on our network, we have to be able to monitor it per the Children's Internet Protection Act, so that the bad sites aren't available for them. So if they were to bring a personal device on our network, we wouldn't be able to monitor that, which now we're non-compliant. So right now we'll make adjustments for if we have to do that, but let's hold off. But if you need a Chromebook, we can get you one until it comes in.
Okay. Well, no, we like I said, we ordered one. Our lead time's a little bit sooner than when you guys would be getting them. So just wanted to make sure. We're just trying to make it open for everyone else to help out. So
thank you.
But
appreciate
it. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Hi, I came in late. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me?
Sure.
Yes.
Stephanie, okay. I came in late and I was just wondering if there is, I don't know how exactly you, how do you order the tablet or the notebook or whatever it is that they need for cyber school?
You would just put a request in for a computer.
On the website?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Like the Hanover area website?
Yeah, www.hanoverarea.org. There's a link that says request for computer. Just fill that out and it'll be submitted. If it doesn't work for you, you can send an email directly to me. It's underneath that request for a computer.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
No problem.
The next question is from Izzy.
What was the name?
Izzy.
Izzy?
Hi. So I'm a student of the high school, and I was just wondering if there will be a remind sent out for a Google Classroom code for 12th grade.
Yes, and it's, as we mentioned, if you go onto the website this evening, right now, right after this meeting, Izzy, the directions are on there for 3rd through 12th grade students. So there will be directions or instructions on there for you to get into your Google Classroom.
Izzy, and I'm gonna barge in here. The faculty members are spending most of their time setting up their classrooms and inputting their students into that classroom. So you might not need a code to get in it because you were already in the class.
Okay, so they're just gonna like basically update it?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you guys.
No problem.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Next question, Mrs. Kitchen.
The next question is from Jacqueline.
Jacqueline, go ahead.
Hello, Nathan. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. It was already discussed already, but I just wanted to let you know that it does say on the website, you need permission for this form in order to be viewed. So that was already discussed, but I just wanted to let you know.
I just sent the text message. There's somebody in the office with Mrs. Kitchen that we can make that adjustment from. And it's just a setting that happened to us one time before, so I apologize. we were scrambling to get the form out to you this evening. We just got the information that they weren't coming in, so apologize, we didn't click that setting off.
Yeah, no problem. I just wanted to give you the heads up because I knew that was coming next for everyone.
Thank you, appreciate
You're
it.
I'm not going to be at a meeting. Outside. Put shoes on or take a
Okay, next question.
Okay, the next question is from Tiffany Shea.
Hi, Tiffany.
Tiffany?
Hi, how are you? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, hi. And I think this was already discussed as well, but I was driving and couldn't hear well. My son did get a request from one of his teachers already today, and he was trying to get logged in. He has his username right, but we could not remember what the password was. Can you just repeat what the password should be again, please?
Sure. The password for third grade to seniors will be their first initial of their first name, their first initial of their last name, and their student ID number. So theoretically, I'll give an example of mine would be RH112334. So that would be the password.
So he did try that because that's what we thought it was, and it's not letting him sign in.
Okay.
And when we do forgot password, it does bring him to like the part that says contact your domain admin.
Yep.
But we don't know how to do that.
You could send an email to rhummer@hanoverarea.net. I control the password, so I'll update his password once I get the request.
And I'm sorry, it was rhummer@hanoverarea.net.
That is correct.
Okay, thank you so much, guys. Have a good night.
You too.
Thank you.
The next question is from Beth K.
Hi, Beth.
Hi, how are you? Okay, my question is, have the schedules been uploaded? And are they the correct schedules? Because my daughter seems to have a few classes that she didn't take.
So if it's at the high school, there are a couple conflicts at the high school, but K through 7 is airtight.
Okay, no, she's a junior.
Okay, she's a junior. So there are some adjustments that are being made, but for the most part, that is a schedule that your daughter will be having. If there's any issues in particular that you have that are concerned that you think are definites that should not be on there, then I posted this morning on our social media the phone numbers to each building in particular. So if you go onto our Facebook page today, you could grab, or Instagram or Twitter, there are numbers there to call the high school in the morning, and we'll get you to the guidance counselor or the principal's office to get those errors onto our radar so that we can fix those. Okay.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, because there's 3 classes that she did not take and that are on there. Okay, perfect.
And
Thank you.
they're primarily at that level. Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
David Krofchak. David?
Hi, David.
Okay. James Schulten.
Folks, before James starts, I just want to let you know that the setting was fixed on the survey. So if you do go onto the website requesting technology, that system is disabled. So you'll be able to fill out the survey. So David?
Okay, James. Is James
here?
Yes. Now, I know with the computer issues going on, and I do have 3 students that are going to be going with limited resources here. Are the assignments just going to be posted like they were for the last quarter?
So there are going to be there are going to be live sessions, okay? But while the teacher is doing live sessions, we are going to be mindful, and again, I'm meeting with the teachers in the morning, and we're going to have to make adjustments according to the audience in front of the teachers. So for example, if everybody has a device, we're not having an issue, the teacher will move along. But if there is a student in the class that's sharing a computer, with a brother, and we know they could only do the morning session for the next couple weeks until the one-to-one initiative is finalized and everybody gets their computer. We're going to have to bend and mold and roll with the punches so that we do not have a kid absent in the afternoon and think that we could continue to move forward as normal. So, my answer is that's going to be on an individual basis from kindergarten through 12th grade, James. So we're going to adjust that in the morning.
Okay, and I do have a desktop here, but are the kids going to need cameras to be able to view everything, or so the teachers can see them?
Mr. Hummer, what do you think about that?
No, they won't need a camera because they'll be seeing the faculty member giving the lesson. So they don't need to have their face on the camera. They can raise their hand, just like if I were sitting here now, I could still raise my hand. You can see mine, it says R. Hummer. I don't have my camera on, but I could still see everybody else. So they wouldn't need a camera, but the faculty members will need it because they're giving at times their live lesson.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
No problem.
You're welcome, James.
Octavia? Octavia, do you have a question?
Yes, I'm sorry, I'm here. Mr. Barrett, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, hi, Mr. Barrett. I'm Mackenzie's mom. I was just wondering, can she use her own laptop? I didn't hear if that was ever asked or if you answered
Yeah,
that.
that would be great if you could do that for the next couple of weeks, only because we're limited on the devices that we have. So that would be wonderful if that could happen.
Okay. Yeah, so she does have her own laptop that she can use.
That's great. You just made my day.
And can I add on that to everybody else is because Google's web-based, as long as you can get on the internet and sign into Google, you can do your assignments. So it's not like you need specially software.
And I'm pretty sure a lot of people probably can use because she was using her iPhone actually at one point.
Yep.
At the end of last quarter, she has an iPhone 11. So she was like, Mom, I'm just using my phone because I kept telling her to use her laptop. And she said, no, Mom, I'm actually using my phone. And I didn't believe her. And she was saying, no, I can do my work on my iPhone. So that was true too.
Yes, absolutely. The only issue we have is K through 3 use 3 websites that contain Flash, and all tablets are not Flash compatible, so they wouldn't work. So K to 3 is an issue with using tablets, but 3rd grade forward should be fine.
Okay, so she's 10th grade now, so
yeah,
I'm gonna allow her to use her laptop or her iPhone, whatever she wants to use at the time. But now that I know she can use it, but after that, however school plays out, whether we go back into class or whatever the case may be, if needing to stay home, she can continue to use her laptop if needed.
Sure.
Correct.
All right, thank you. That's all I needed.
Perfect. Thank you.
Have a good night.
You too.
Michelle Coker?
Hello?
Hi, Michelle.
Hi, I just want to know, the pickup for the computers are Friday and Saturday. Can my son, who's a senior, pick it up on his own since I'm working?
Yes, that's okay, right, Mr. Hummer?
Yes, because they're going to sign a contract just stating that they did receive the laptop or device, and we have it on record. So everything that we have, the inventory stickers will match so that we can get everything back.
Okay, and what time are they being distributed?
We're going to post that on our social media and send out through the Remind. We're going to do that tomorrow afternoon.
And there'll also be a link on our website.
Okay, thank you.
Patrick? Sierra, do you have a question?
Hi, yeah. I'm actually a senior in the high school. I am completely enrolled in not just the virtual learning, but the physical cyber program that Hanover offers. How will I go about getting, is my computer on hold along with the rest of the computers that are coming about October, or will I be able to go pick that up Friday or Saturday, or?
So so what I'm gathering is you're in the virtual academy. You're actually in the full-time cyber program, right?
Correct.
So we will be in contact with you precisely, okay?
Okay.
That there are some that are mixed in with the delayed computers.
Okay.
So we'll see which ones are in and which ones are not. Okay.
Okay, because I've tried contacting, like, to try and get a hold of, like, either Miss Zapp or, like, anyone I can, and I kind of get in the runaround. I know everyone's busy. Nobody knows what's going on, and we're still all stuck. I understand it's hard. So I'm just trying to figure out, like, will that affect my start of school? Because I know you have to be signed on and everything. Like, I'm not really sure how cyber actually works.
Okay. Yeah, we'll be in touch. So Sierra, I'll make sure that somebody's in touch tomorrow. Okay. And we were getting through that today. Okay. So the students enrolled in the Cyber Academy will be contacted. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Liz Santos, do you have a question?
Yes, I'm here. Lou Santos is here.
Okay.
All right.
Hello.
How you do?
How are you?
I'm good. And yourself? Okay. So, when the request is put in, I just put it in once you made it aware that they fixed the survey. Once the request is put in, how does that, what do we go about as far as the next step?
So we're going to sift those through those tomorrow, and the 2 distribution days you'll be contacted as to what day to come and get what. Okay.
Copy. And then I have a kindergartner. I got a letter saying she was going to go to Hanover Elementary.
Yeah, Hanover Green Elementary School. Yes.
Well, I'm sorry, no, not Hanover Green. I mean, the memorial that they were putting the.
Oh, you're in the pre-K.
Yeah, the pre-K and
okay.
K.
Yeah, so you're getting devices as well. So
She's
Dr.
gonna get a
Pugh.
device as well for her.
Yeah, so pre-K is different, so they have devices as well. So there's Mr. Hummer, was that tomorrow or Friday, the distribution for those?
Pre-K's iPad will be tomorrow. We're currently working on them now. Will be available to pick up tomorrow, and I believe Dr. Pugh set that schedule up with them.
I just put the survey. I put 2 different surveys in because since it's 2 different students, that's no problem, right?
No.
No.
Okay, perfect. So someone will contact me as far as my pre-K for tomorrow.
Yeah,
Hi,
you should have been
Nathan,
reached out already.
This
Are you
is
there, Dr.
Daphne
Pugh?
on the call.
Okay.
So for pre-K counts, we sent an email yesterday and today with the information, and we also posted it on the Facebook page that tomorrow at 2 o'clock in the high school, in the back where the cafeteria is, we are going to be distributing the iPads.
So 2 p.m. tomorrow at the high school for the pre-K, correct?
Correct. Yep.
Okie dokie. And what was gonna happen? Okay, that was that for that one. But okay, going back to my 6th grader now. Last year I had gotten her a tablet. I'm sorry, not a tablet, a computer for her to do her homework. But somehow it got locked. It's saying that the admin from the school has to unlock it. So it's completely like it's I can't do anything with it. It's locked.
That is
locked.
correct. If a device was not returned before
you didn't return it.
Summer.
No, it's my device. Hey, it's my computer. I bought a computer for her personally, and I put on there just her school logins.
What's the name on the device?
The name of the computer?
Who's your student?
I'm sorry, my student's Arianex Sanchez.
Okay. I'll take a look at that and make sure that we clear that off for you.
Please, and yeah, since and I gotta find it because since it got locked, I can't find the computer. I'm looking for it today. If I can't find it today, then I'll just try to do like a backup. But once we get that up and running, then I can return the Chromebook or whatever we have, used from you guys, and she can use her own stuff.
Okay, we'll discuss with you because of the matter of locking computers. We can only do that, and we haven't done that. So
it's very weird. Like I contacted the school last year when it happened. Like she lost out on a lot because it locked on her, and it's just a piece of.
I'm sorry because we didn't lock any computers last year, so that's not us. Maybe I'll talk to you. I'll work you out with you. Okay.
Okay, perfect. We'll worry about that later then. Okay, now what other, I have one more. Okay, so officially classes start Monday, right? Online and in school?
Online they start. We're 100% virtual until October the 1st, and they begin Monday morning.
Okay, October 1st. Okay, and they begin Monday. Okay, perfect. And now it's saying okay, to register her on the online classes, like I'm on your portal now, and I just like answer the questions? Like I'm so lost on this.
So what we'll do is this. Why don't you call the office in the morning so that we can continue to maintain the focus of the call here? And
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. That's okay. And we'll deal with you personally. So 831-2313.
831-2313.
Yes.
Got it. Okay, 2313 138. Got it. All right, I'll call you tomorrow then, and we'll deal with that personally because you're absolutely right.
Okay,
I
thank you.
apologize. Have a good
Thank
day,
you.
guys.
Okay, great.
Chris Crook?
Good evening. I just had a quick question here. My daughter is going into first grade. We were able to log into her Google Classroom, but all I can see right now, I know you said that the kindergarten through 7th was locked in, but it's still showing her just her kindergarten classroom. When will her first grade classroom be visible?
Mr. Hummer, do you have that? That should be uploaded, correct?
Yeah, all the students are uploaded. It's now on the faculty. They're creating their classrooms, so they have to bring in their list of students for that class. So I'm sure they're going to be updating that within the next few days.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Thanks, Chris.
Laura Owens?
Hi. If I'm asking a question that has already been covered, I apologize. I came into this meeting a little late, and then I also missed kindergarten orientation, so I've been trying to look for the YouTube. Do you know about how I would obtain a login for my daughter who's in kindergarten?
Is it for the student portal? Or
I have her under my parent portal, so I have an ID for her and I have her scheduled. But as far as like logging into Google Classrooms for her, I'm not sure how I would do that. And I tried reaching out to people, and
Sure, there's a link on our website for Google Login for Students, and that will tell you the instructions on how to log in.
Okay, and then is she going to be receiving a computer, or is that on hold?
That's what we're having the meeting for. We're on a little back order with our Chromebooks. If you have a personal device at home, she could use that. If not, you could request a computer by clicking the request for computer link on our front page of our website.
Okay, and that's the same for my 10th grader as well?
Absolutely.
I would just request. Okay, all right, thanks. Sorry.
No problem.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Aressa Grady?
Yes, that's me. I do have a question. I signed up my daughter, Trinity Montigny, for the cyber, and then I also switched her to the hybrid. I haven't gotten any phone calls back from the school, no information, nothing. So I'm a little lost on what's going on.
Okay, so if you enrolled in the hybrid, then what we're doing right now is if and when the computers came in, when you enrolled the child into the hybrid,
correct?
That's most of our population. Okay, so we were simply moving forward with the schedule. That's why we were sending information out about the portal for the folks that were in the hybrid program to check and see their child's schedule, to make sure that you knew who the teacher was. So the last couple of days, we've been trying to send out information for you folks in order to get the information for the classes. So that's what those messages were that were going out with the hybrid students.
Okay.
Tonight.
Yeah, I was able to, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
That's okay.
I was able to review her schedule, her teacher's name and everything as well. I just haven't received a phone call back. The only person I've been in contact with is Mrs. McCabe. She's the only one who's gotten back to me on the Remind app.
Well, the information, once you received it for your schedule, that was for the hybrid students. So
okay,
most kids are hybrid. So that's the reason why there wasn't individual calls. it's over 80% of our population. So,
Correct.
so what we did was we just sent out mass information about how to get your kid's schedule, how to get your kids' teachers' names, so on and so forth. So,
Okay.
and then the purpose of tonight's call was because we were supposed to have a computer for every child individually,
Correct.
district-wide. And then as you may have heard, I thought I heard you say coming in late. So as you heard, they're all on back order.
Yeah, no, I've been here since the beginning of the
Okay.
meeting.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
I heard
sorry.
everything.
My apologies.
No, you're
My
okay.
apologies.
I know you have a lot going on. But yeah, you
So-
answered my question though.
Perfect. Okay, thank
All
you.
right, thank you.
Yeah, I have a question. How about for the kids who have an IEP program? How are they dealing with that and not being able to log in all day?
So in the survey, if you're referring to technology, if that's what you mean, it does ask that question in the survey. So if you clicked on that, it's a precise question in there.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Thank you.
Yep.
Hi, I have a question.
Ms. Kitchen, who's the next? Who's the next person?
Question is from Cassandra.
Hi, Cassandra.
Hey, I don't have a question. I just wanted to make parents aware that my son was able to use his Xbox for a lot of his classes last year.
Yes, thank you
So
very
if they
much,
don't-
Cassandra, because that's what that's what was happening towards the end of the school. You know, you just got to be careful as to whether they're playing or on school. But yes, it is.
Well, that was a little
it
bit
is
of an
mobile
issue,
device.
but just in case they don't have devices, I mean, if they're monitored, he was able to get on.
Excellent. No, I'm just teasing. No, thank you very much. That's an excellent point.
Yeah, Cassandra, that's great because any web browser can log into Google Classroom. So
Right.
as long as they can get on a website, it doesn't matter. PlayStation has the same feature. A lot of the smart TVs have that feature too, where you can surf the internet. So
Right.
as long as you can get on
That's
the
really a
internet,
great point.
you can get to the classroom.
I just wanted to make people aware.
Thank you. That's
so
a
much.
great point, Cassandra. Thank you.
You're welcome.
The next question is from Wendy.
Hello?
Hi, Wendy.
Hi, I just have a couple questions. I was able to get in the parent portal this evening and I saw the schedule, but I'm not aware of what times exactly we have to be logged in on. Like, is it 8 to 11 and 12 to 3, 8:30 to 11? You know what I mean?
I do. What school is your child at?
Hanover Green Elementary.
At Green. And Mr. Hummer, that's not listed in those times?
I'd have to look, but I'm not sure because kindergarten is a full day with the one teacher. So I'll take a look at that today and I'll let you know.
She's actually in
I know
first grade.
I know at kindergarten we're first grade?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll have to get your precise times. Keep checking the portal. And if you're having that issue, many people may be having that issue. So
Correct.
we'll make sure that those times are put in there.
Okay, also, when we used Google Classroom in previous year, when we logged in, it was 32, and then her name and her first initial, and now it's 33, or was it 33, and I'm just, having a brain aneurysm or something.
No, the year of grad. So if they were a kindergarten student last year, their year of graduation is 32. So if they're now a first grader, their year of graduation is still 32. So 32 would be their year of graduation. So that stays the same for them.
Okay, so she graduated, but didn't sure it bumps up to 33 because she's going into first?
No. So
Stays the same.
It stays the same. Once you're assigned an ID, a username, it stays the same right through to you graduate high school.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Wendy.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Stephanie. I just had two questions. So when I log into Google Classroom, I'm able to get in. The two sites that we used last year, she'll be going into first grade. I was wondering if you had the teachers assigned yet, because I didn't really get any information on that yet so much, but there's the one, I think it's McGraw, and then Think Central, and then the other one was the math one, right? There's McGraw and then there's the math. The link doesn't work, so I'm assuming that we'll get those links and everything at some point. And and also like how hybrid works, because I didn't get a chance to take the survey, drop the ball in that case. But ultimately, so how is hybrid going to work? I remember you mentioning October 1st. If you could just kind of give me I don't know, like an idea of how that's going to play out.
Sure. So the hybrid model right now, the hybrid model is it's students that are split. The population is split in half. Okay. The hybrid model is going to be a student A and a student B schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Student A schedule would come in all week long during 1 week.
Okay.
While the other student B population stay home, remote. We're keeping the population divided to try to minimize risk of exposure and spread if there was ever anything that came into the school. Then these schedules would then flip-flop the next week. B would be in the building while A remained at home.
Okay.
So,
and if I didn't take the survey, would that default me to the hybrid? I'm assuming.
So it would have defaulted you to the hybrid. So,
okay.
But what I'm saying to you is that what most folks that we had a clarification last week about was if you never wanted your child or a family member or whoever that you're on this call for, you never wanted them to step foot into the building, you could always utilize the online portion of the hybrid and never come to our buildings. Just utilize our teachers and remain home.
Okay. No, I mean, I'm fine with the hybrid. That's cool. I just kind of wanted to get an idea of like where she stands. And then the two that it's math and reading. So those two links, one of them I can't get into. Is it just because I don't have access anymore until the teacher grants me access?
Correct. So your new teachers are loading their classrooms now.
Okay.
They have had their first Google training today, and they will have additional training tomorrow. So they're going to continually upload and revitalize what they had from last year and put new content on there. So you're gonna just keep an eye on it, and you'll start seeing some difference.
Okay, and the parent portal, that's just for grading and like, I guess.
Your teacher, your schedule, your grades, your ID numbers, so on and so forth. Yep.
And there's instructions, because I don't believe I did that last year.
The instructions are on the website.
They're on the website. Okay, so just follow that to get logged in to that.
Yes.
Okay, and ultimately just the hybrid October 1st. I'm sure the teacher will go into detail as time
But
goes
we're
on.
live Monday.
Okay, so just on Monday, and then I wanted to talk about actual Zoom conferences. Are they going to actually have like a?
So you know what we'll do, Stephanie? Let's have an individual call tomorrow at 831-2313. Call me tomorrow so that this is precisely over the technology. So what we'll do is I get devote a little bit more time to you. I don't want to hold folks up on this one, okay?
Okay, I appreciate it. Yeah, I work until 3:30, and then I also have my own class from 6 to 9. So I have like a time slot between like 3:30 and 6. So I don't know if that time frame would work for you at all.
Call us immediately at 3:30.
Okay, yep, that sounds good. And
Thank you.
how would I do that? Would I just tap into here or?
No, 831-2313.
831-2313.
Yes.
Okay, and that's just the Zoom ID. And
No, that's going to be a phone number to me.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, 831-2313. All right, I will give you a call tomorrow around 3:30 a.m. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Thank you.
Galaxy 8.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi.
So I have a question. I'm speaking in behalf of my mother because she doesn't speak English. So my little brother is going to 3rd grade right now, but she moved from the Hanover area. Now she's living in Wilkes-Barre. She's asking since the enrollment, she has an enrollment like for enroll him this year. So is that like an issue? Can he take the classes still from Hanover area?
No, if you do not live within our district, then you need to enroll in the Wilkes-Barre area school district.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. That'll be all. Thank you.
Okay, I thank you.
Amanda? Amanda, do you have a question?
Yes, my daughter is enrolled in the Young Scholars Program, and they would be going to Wilkes to do that when they're in school, but since they're going to be online for the first month. How is this going to work for her?
So is she going to attend Wilkes in person, or are they online as well?
I'm not sure.
Okay. So the Wilkes program, she should have received something because I believe they started this week. So if your address changed or your email changed or anything, contact the school tomorrow, because if you're enrolled in that program, it began on Monday. Okay. The next thing is that the online portion of the Hanover area school classes that begin on Monday, there will be links for every period. So your child would then, once he or she finished at Wilkes, then simply log on to the teacher's link beginning in the third or fourth period of the day should be fourth period that he or she would be coming into. Simply click on the link, then they'll be live with our teachers at the high school.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mike, do you have a question? Mike? Okay, move on to Lewis. Do you have a question, Lewis?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, Lewis.
Okay, I came late because of work. So the pickups are Friday and Saturday. I got that. And they'll reach out to us as far as
Lewis, I don't know if you heard the first part of it. The pickups are for students that are in desperate need of a device. Our device, our one-to-one initiative, the Chromebook initiative for every student, is put on delay for 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay. So sorry to cut you off.
Device for your child, they can use that for the next 2 to 3 weeks. If you do not, and you are in need, then simply log on to our hanoverarea.org website and click on the survey that you're in need of technology.
Okay, we have them for them, so they'll be good to go.
Oh, wonderful.
Now,
okay.
As far as now, if they don't need a Chromebook and another kid can use what would have been theirs, is there someplace I could let that be known, or?
Well, yes, and you know what? Once we get close, I will reach out to you. Now, the only problem is and this is something we dealt with earlier, Lewis, is that once it comes time for us to physically return to the building, we may reach out to you only because we have to work out security issues, because every single Chromebook that we're issuing is on our network, so there will not be any type of lapse in security or interruptions in internet service. But if you have your own device, it probably won't let us on the network, and we'll deal with that privately. But we'll send out a survey once the computers are getting closer.
Okay, and so my sixth grader, I have 3 the twins in 6th grade. They're good to go. Their teachers I've seen that. My first grader, I logged onto hers. It has her teachers from last year. Is that normal?
You know what? We just dealt with that with somebody previous to you 2 or 3 callers ago. So the first grade, we're uploading those. Yeah. So if you could just give it another day or so.
She's going into 2nd.
Oh, okay.
It has her first grade teacher.
First grade teachers.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'll check into that. Okay.
I mean, I'll give it a.
Lewis, the teachers would have to remove that classroom from last year to set up their new classes. So I'm sure they're going to do that once tomorrow or Friday. They'll remove their old classes.
You're muted, Lewis.
Monday we're going live, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Now, what are the is it like 8 a.m. to 2 p.m.?
So the schedules are going to be different based on the school. So that was an issue we ran into earlier. So tomorrow we're going to make sure that the start times are uploaded so based on schedule.
Okay. I'm worried about, because they're going to be with like a sitter until I get home from work. I guess I'll call in with you privately.
Well, you can check the portal. Are you on the portal, Lewis? Parent portal?
I get the Remind apps. I don't know if that's the same thing. The Remind messages, sorry.
So the Remind text that came through yesterday, Lewis, was for parents to be able to log into the parent portal login information. So that if you logged in and that was your student's initial and ID numbers, so that would allow you the ability to know your teacher's name. And I think you said you were on it because you were able to see your student schedule.
Yeah, my sixth graders, their teachers are up on Google Classroom, like their new teachers.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So
All
as
right,
far as that.
Okay. So I would encourage you then to go back to yesterday's text. It will give you step-by-step instruction on how to get onto the portal, and there's specific schedules on there. That might be able to help you a little bit better with the ability to manage the kids on what time they could get on. Does that help?
Yeah. Can you just give me your number just in case I have questions tomorrow?
Yes.
Because I don't want to take up everybody's time.
Sure. 831-2313.
831-2313.
Correct.
All right. Thank you so much. You guys have a good night.
You too, Louis.
All right.
Next question.
I have a question.
We have a question from Mike.
Mike?
Yes, I have a question about the pre-K. What's going on with them?
With who?
For the pre-K?
Dr. Pugh, are you there?
What was that?
Dr. Pugh is on this call, I believe, and she's the coordinator of our pre-K. Dr. Pugh, you still on here? Okay, perhaps she's not, but
No, she's coming. Just hold on one second. She had a little bit of a technical issue. She's on her way right here.
okay.
Okay, go ahead. She's in the room.
Hello?
Dr. Pugh, the question was what's going on with pre-K?
Okay, so the parents were emailed yesterday and today with the schedule for pickup, which is tomorrow, pickup of the iPads from 2 to 3 p.m. In addition, they were sent a code for their teachers' remind. Each teacher has a remind for each of their classrooms. So the codes were emailed as well. And the teachers have been sending out information via remind today.
Does that answer your question?
No, I haven't received an email for the codes. I seen that we were supposed to pick up the iPads tomorrow, but it doesn't say where, and I don't have no code.
Okay, so how did you get the email about the distribution tomorrow?
I didn't get the email. I seen it on Facebook.
Okay, can you?
Okay, so tomorrow at 2 o'clock, when you're at the high school, we'll gather that information for you, okay?
Okay, so tomorrow at 2 o'clock?
In the rear of the high school, in the rear.
Okay, all right, thank you. That was all I needed to know.
I can take your name too, and I can reach out to you.
Okay, it's Amy
Mm-hmm.
Aberrant, A-B as in Bravo, E-R-A-N-T, and it's with concerning Grayson.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
The next question is from Mike. Mike, are you here? Okay, Jillian Rivera.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, I just had a question because I got the things in Remind of how to set up on the parent portal, but when I went to go sign into the parent portal, it said that I needed obviously the student IDs, and I don't have my children's student IDs. And then I asked my son if he knew it and my daughter, and they said no.
Jillian, you could email rhummer@hanoverarea.net, or you can call me at the office and I can give you those numbers.
Okay, thank you. And then my next question was oh wait, no, never mind. You guys answered that from previous people asking the same question. All right, that was it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We have a question from Galaxy 10.
Hi, yes, I have a daughter in first grade and a son in sixth grade. I was wondering what times they'll each be able to go on to do these classes.
And we will update tomorrow that, are you on the portal, madam?
Yes.
Okay, so tomorrow we're gonna update the times in there because that seems to be a consistent question. So we'll make sure that that's updated so that there's precise times.
Okay, thanks, Mr. Barrett.
Thank you.
Penny Guile.
Mute it, and then you can ask your question.
Penny?
Okay, how the hell do I cut my camera off though? 'Cause
Can
I
you
don't
hear me?
really see my face.
Yes, Penny, go ahead.
Penny, go ahead.
Okay, I'm not sure if I'm asking the same question. If I am, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I went on the parent portal. Underneath the schedule, his schedule is not there. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get on his phone, but it's showing the classrooms. Hang on one second, I'm sorry. So if I go under schedule, it's not showing me his schedule, but if I go under grade book, it's just showing me his teachers. And he's in 6th grade.
Okay, and that was being set up differently. Mr. Hummer, if you want to touch upon that, it's looking like a high school schedule now. So because they're period by period there, so it's going to look a little bit differently. But Mr. Hummer, do you want to touch upon that?
Yeah, sure. The I'm actually looking at your your account right now, the parent portal, and I do see the I'm under schedule, and it says like semester 1, quarter 1, quarter 3, quarter 4, and I could see that there's homeroom and lunch. So I'm sure that we have to look at.
I see semester 1, semester 2, but nothing next to it.
Correct, and I see the same thing too. So I'll speak with our student information system tomorrow. Make sure that there's not an issue with the viewing for Linwood, because Linwood is the new 6th grade school. So I just have to work out a little bug with them if that's the case. But we should have that resolved for you tomorrow.
Okay. And then if you go underneath the grade book, it shows that he has 2 math teachers. Is that correct? Is he going to be in 2 different math class?
Which student are you looking at?
Jeffrey Peck.
There may be, and you know what, we'll talk about that privately, okay?
Okay. Okay, perfect.
Yep.
All right, and then one more thing, last thing, and that's it. I know you're going by the last name if they're doing 1 week or the other week. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yes, go ahead, ask the question.
So they go by their last name. Is it AM, PM? Is it 1 week? Like
1 week on, 1 week off. Yep.
Okay. So if I had to switch that, am I able to?
I'm not following you for what reason?
So like if you go like A to, I'm just going to say you go A to K.
Yep.
And then you go L to whatever.
Z. Yep.
Yeah. If he's on this opposite week, am I able to switch that?
Yeah. How do you know which one, Penny?
I don't know.
You're just trying to be tricky, are you?
No, I'm just.
Okay.
That's personal. I don't want to put it out here on Zoom.
We'll talk about that privately, okay, Penny?
Yes, that's privately. Okay.
All right.
And that's it. And I want to thank you all for doing a great job and dealing with all of his parents that are crazy. So, but thank you for doing a good job.
We understand, and we're trying to get through. And we've become crazy ourselves right now because this is not the average opening.
No, not at all. And I can't imagine what you're going through.
And I got your text. That was you I was texting today, right, Penny?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Good. All right. Okay.
All right, honey. Thank you, and have a great day, guys.
All right, you take care.
Thanks, you too.
Patricia, do you have a question? Patricia?
Yes, hi. My son's name is Christopher. I did go into the the parent portal this morning, but I didn't see none of his classes that were that he's assigned to. I work from 8 to 5, so it's like kind of hard for me to go in there.
Was that 6th grade?
No, he's actually going to 1st grade.
Okay, okay, we heard that earlier. You know what? If you could just give time for the teachers to roll it over, they're working that out over yesterday and today. Okay, so tomorrow that should look different for you. Okay, so if you could just give us until the end of the day tomorrow, it should be nice and clear for you.
Okay, my other question was, I know I did come in a little late and it said you guys were starting classes this Monday, August 31st or October 31st. I'm confused there.
We're starting Monday the 31st virtually online. Okay.
Okay.
So and the purpose for this call, madam, was because our Chromebooks have been delayed. They're back ordered. So if you have a device to use, do you have a device to use?
Last year, he was using the house computer, but in order for him to use that one, it has to be plugged in all the time. So he goes to daycare. Since I work from 8 to 5, he will be doing the virtual in daycare.
Okay.
I do have a laptop at the moment, but are you guys gonna provide the computers
We are
or?
in a couple weeks. I mean, if you're in desperate need of one, we could have you, well, we could give you one to hold you over for a few weeks, but if he could use that laptop until they come in, they'll be in 2 to 3 weeks. So, so if he could use that laptop for the time being, but if not, we could let you borrow one for the next couple weeks until his comes in.
Okay, because I know I didn't. I know I came in and it said to go in the Hanover.org to request for a computer. I have not done that yet. Do I have to do that for him to get one?
Only if you're in desperate need for one. Like I said, if they could use the laptop you have there for the time being, but if not, if he cannot use that, go onto the website this evening and submit the request.
Okay, yeah, well, I'm gonna have to do that because in order for him to use the one I have at home, it needs to be plugged in all day and all night. If not, it will shut off and he will have, like,
Loses
he will
work.
be offline at all.
Loses
Yes.
work. Right. Okay. All right. No problem. Then do that. www.hanoverarea.org.
Okay, I also did have another question. I know I did speak with his teacher, Ms. Schultz, from last year. I did get a message regarding students' belongings to pick up, which I didn't go for because of work. I just want to know if do you guys still have his belongings there for me to pick them up, or do you do not?
Why don't you give a call tomorrow and we'll look into that. Okay. I don't have that answer right now.
All
Okay.
right, thank you so
All right,
much.
thank you. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Melissa Williams.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hi, Melissa.
Hey, how are you? I have a question. I know that you kind of touched upon it, but unfortunately I was in my car and I got kicked out of the meeting when I was getting out. So the question that I have is, I know that we said that despite technology not being available as of Monday, that classes are still going to go live. Is that, did I understand that correctly?
Yeah. So, but I did elaborate afterwards is that we're going to go live and we are going to, with the teachers in the morning to go over a strategy on how we begin to adapt to the needs of the students in our class. So, you know, we're going to understand and be compassionate to the needs of one computer per household, maybe for 2 to 3 kids. So, you know, we're going to try to get through the next 2 to 3 weeks, Melissa. So,
okay, the reason that I'm asking that is I was curious, and I know this might not be like something that you readily have an answer, but it would be a question that I had. If classes are going to be held live, and that was the purpose of having the live instruction, it kind of puts the other kids who won't be in those live sessions at a great disadvantage. So my question would be, when do they get to ask questions and actively participate with their teachers? And also, are those live meetings for those classes going to be recorded for households like mine that would not have enough devices for my children to all be able to do this at the same time? So would they be able to then view those classes at a later time so that they're getting the same instruction, same information as their peers?
So again, as I said, it's going to be a matter of strategizing. So they're not going to continue to move forward with the understanding that Melissa Williams' child cannot be in that class in the afternoon because the afternoon, his sister needs to use the computer. So we're going to adapt to the needs of the students. So right now we're understanding there's probably several hundred households in the same situation that you are.
Exactly.
And it's something that's out of our control. So we're not going to continue to move forward and ignore what the societal needs are. So that's not something we're looking to do. We're going to look to see what every child needs in every single classroom in our entire district. So we would never continue to move forward, and that would be negligent on our part.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I understood, because it's you can understand why that would be a concern. Something though to keep in mind, I hear a lot of people throwing out the idea of like, well, you can use your Xbox, use a smart TV. The unfortunate reality though is when you have multiple kids that are going to be listening to multiple live classrooms, if you can't hook up a headset to a TV. You can't hook up a headset to, like, unless you have one available for the Xbox. So although those ideals might be there and available, they're probably not always going to be the best choice, but that's all I have to say about that. So when will we find out exactly then how classes will be structured?
So each individual classroom is going to be set up. The teacher is going to lay that out on an individual basis. So the instructions are on the website, how to log into your Google Classroom. It's separated into K through 2 and 3 through 12 fashion. So once you log into those classrooms, that will be based on an individual teacher preference that would adapt to the needs of the population in front of them.
Oh, no, I
So-
apologize. I meant in regards to, I know you said that you guys were going to be meeting with the teachers in regards to the whole like live classrooms and like how that's going to flow, or is that going to be my high schoolers have 12 teachers between the two of them and there's gonna be 12 different ways going on?
I'm not
Is there
sure
going to be
if
something?
I'm not sure if I'm understanding, but the way that it's structured right now currently is if your child has 6 classes in the high school, there will be 6 standing links on a daily basis that as they change from history to English to Spanish, they'll click on those links throughout the course of their day based on the time slots that are designated for those particular periods.
No, I'm sorry. I don't think I'm articulating it correctly. I apologize. I mean, in regards to the situation regarding not having the one-to-one technology, is there going to be one standard way that that's going to be handled, like recording the live classes? Or do you understand what I'm saying in that fashion?
I do, and
Okay.
I thought I was clear before. It's going to be based on the teacher's understanding of if there's kids that are in that classroom that have a computer all day long, they'll move forward with 100%, fluency and no issues whatsoever. However, as they're bending and molding and they say, well, I have the computer in the morning, this is the student now. If I have the computer in the morning, but my brother needs it in the afternoon, and then that's, again, it's every classroom within this district will look different based on the teacher's understanding of what's in front of them for the next 2 to 3 weeks until everyone has a device.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Trish Tenza?
I have a question about the cyber option. I spoke to, I think, Ms. Pugh 2 weeks ago, I think, and I haven't heard anything back from her. So is there anything that I need to know?
I think at this point, it's just waiting on the device. If you were enrolled, you may not have heard until just before we were starting, until the devices came in. And as I said, she just learned today with me, she was with me when we got word that the devices weren't coming in. So that was the purpose of congregating everybody on this call, to kind of centralize everybody and bring us all together and get information back out to understand that, okay, the original plan that cyber students were set to receive their computers, that has now changed. And the purpose of this call is to inform you that cyber students will be we will be in contact to let you know how you would get your computer and your technological needs. And then hybrid students, how we're going to handle this. But in the meantime, like I said, we'll reach out, we'll ask anybody, do they have a device to get started until everything comes in. So you may get this call tomorrow to say, do you have a device? You're able to get started on your own, or do you need a device? And so now you'll hear from Dr. Pugh or anybody within the department to try to understand as to whether you have what you need to get started. And if not, we ask you to fill out the link that's on the website, and we'll get you started with that device.
So cyber kids can use their own devices?
They can. So, but Dr. Pugh will call and elaborate how that will take place.
Okay.
Or somebody within the department. And, but they can, yes. It's all web-based, yes.
Okay, so is there any information on the parent portal that cyber kids will need to know?
Dr. Pugh, you still there?
Yes, I'm here. If you're speaking of the virtual academy, that is separate information. We have a letter that we're going to give you with all the login information. Those letters have not gone out yet. Did you speak to the counselor, however, though, and set up the courses for your child?
No.
No one contacted you then?
No, I think the only person I talked to was you, and that was about, oh gosh, probably about 2
Yeah, I
weeks ago.
remember speaking with you. Let me go back through my notes. I have your child's information. I'll make sure someone calls you.
Trish, what school are you at?
He will be going into 4th grade.
4th, okay.
I'll make sure we call you tomorrow, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
That's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Krista? Go ahead.
Hi. My daughter's going to kindergarten this year. I could get into the parents portal, but when you went into detail of how to log into your students portal, I cannot log in. I did the 33 last name, first initial at Hanover Area Net, and then the password that you gave me on that site as well.
I could answer that for you.
Okay.
The student portal is handled by our technology department. We set them up for the students, and we reset their password every start of this school year. And that is a different login. This year, the student portal is just so they can see their grades and progress report, where Google is the actual Google Classroom that they're going to be going to class with.
All right.
So,
how do I do Google? This is like the first time ever. Like, I just started out.
oh, that's okay. There's a link on our homepage that tells you how to log in as a K through 2 second grade student and a 3rd to senior student. So there's
Where would that be located? I'm
it's
sorry.
right underneath. It's right underneath the picture as soon as you go to our homepage. You'll see it says letter about computers and Google logins for students. The student portal we'll get that information out to the students, but the Google login is the most important part right now because of their classroom.
All right. Can you tell me more about Google login, or should I just call and ask these questions? Because I have no clue what I'm doing.
No, you could just click on that link, the letter about computers and Google logins.
Okay.
And it gives you example of how to log in.
Okay. So the student portal is nothing about the 33 at all.
Not at all.
33 last name.
That's the student portal is only so that they can check their grades and progress report. It has nothing to do with the classroom.
Okay. So how would she go into classes?
How would she go into classes? When she logs into Google, she can go to google.com.
Oh, okay. So it's Google. Okay. That's why I'm like confused. Google.com.
Yeah. Yep. And then there was a login button. She would click that, put her username in, and she's a kindergarten, you said?
Yes.
So her password would be Hawkeye1. K through second is Hawkeye1. That would get them in. The teachers are actually setting up their subjects,
okay,
and they'll include those students into that classroom. So when she goes on, she'll see like math, reading, science, it's kind of like that, and she just has to click that, and that'll be her class.
Okay, so it's pretty much her own little email just to get from the teachers.
Yes.
Okay, I was really confused when you guys kept on saying Google accounts and stuff. I personally thought it was just the student portal because I got parent portal that I could sign in, see everything already. And I thought that's how she gets on it with the student portal. I'm sorry.
That's okay. The student portal and the parent portal is just so that you can keep track of your students' progress while they're in school, as far as grades, attendance, discipline, that kind of stuff. Google Classroom, which is at google.com, is their actual classroom that they will be attending.
Okay. That actually makes sense.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Lori? Lori, do you have a question?
I do. Can anybody let me know approximately how long it takes for a parent request to be approved when you're trying to set up through the parent portal?
I can answer that question. Once you fill out the request for a parent portal, we get notified that there's an open request. I go through it, make sure that your information is correct. It's your student. I approve it. Then I have to activate it. Now, depending on when I get that request, if you do it at night, I usually get it within the morning. The first thing that I check is parent portals in the morning. So usually it's overnight or not.
I've been waiting a year. I'm sorry, I have to interrupt because I've also been waiting the whole call
just ask that. So
There, when I get
can't
the
get in.
request, I get notified so that I actually have a list. When I accept it, it clears out for me, and I have a couple right now. But if you're rating a year, I don't know. You can contact me at my email rhummer@hanovery.net, and we can discuss it.
Yeah, I called today and didn't get a call. I'll try that. rhummer@hanovery.net.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. And the second question would be, is there possibly any tests set up within the Google Classroom so that when we know this goes live on Monday, that it's not going to be just a epic fail, like that we know this is actually working?
We hope for never an epic fail. But Mr. Hummer, do you have?
Yeah, no, from right now, everything is set up on our side, and I'm going to give, we actually ended up purchasing the full enterprise Google edition. So there's a little more added feature than we had from March of last year to June. We have a little bit more features, but the only thing that I foresee with Google is because everybody's using it, it may slow down a little bit, but as far as it going down, no, I don't see it going down.
Okay, I believe that's all. Thank you.
No problem.
Nicole, Nicole, do you have a question?
Yeah.
Nicole, you have to go on mute.
Yes, this is Nicole. I have a question. I know you touched on about the cyber option. My daughter, she's going to kindergarten, and we did get in contact with Mrs. Edmonds, and I know you said that they didn't send the emails out yet regarding the information for starting. But are we going to receive that through our email, like our personal email, or through like the parent portal with the information for starting the cyber school, like the welcome letter?
Well, the parent portal, you will not receive information. That's only for viewing the progress of your student. You should receive, I don't know, Mr. Barrett, you might help me here, as a notification from the all-call or a remind. But again, student portal is just to keep track of your student, not as far as doing their class.
Notifications. Yeah.
Right.
So Dr. Pugh, how would they receive that letter?
So if you're referring to the virtual academy, you provided an email address during the enrollment process, and the information will be emailed to you at that address.
Okay, and do we know when we should expect the welcome letter? Like what time frame to make sure that we have it in time?
Yeah, hopefully soon. We have to figure out about all the devices now. We'll be reaching out.
Okay, thank you.
By week's end.
Okay, thank you very much.
Teresa, you have a question, Teresa?
Hello.
Hi, Teresa.
Hi. I have 3 children, one in 7th, one in 6th, and one in 3rd. I have 2 computers that are up and going, so that'll be fine for them. My question is for my son. I know it has been answered that the schedules are, like, I guess, going up for 6th grade, because right now I don't see one. But he also has an IEP for math, and I was wondering if there's any way I could get in contact with the counselor, because I tried to email her from his Google Classroom today, and I wasn't able to. It said he couldn't email a teacher.
Okay, Mrs. Bennett, are you on this call?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Mrs. Bennett, special ed question. Maybe we could, is there a number that Teresa could call?
Yeah. Yes. If you want to give me a call tomorrow, you can call the school at 831-2300, and I'm at extension 285.
285?
Yep, and we can discuss your son's IEP.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
As far as the students having email, again, I have to be concerned about the Children's Internet Protection Act, where—
Oh, no, absolutely. I understand that.
Right.
I was just trying to get in touch with, like, I actually was trying to message Miss Meyer.
Right.
And just because I didn't personally have her email, and then I went on the website and I was looking for it and I couldn't find it.
Yeah, but with the new version of Google that we did purchase, students will have the ability to email our staff and anybody within our organization. They cannot receive email out from outside the school or send
Oh,
email,
that's completely understandable.
yeah, or send email outside the school. But yeah,
I
they will
understand
have
that completely.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Teresa.
Adriana?
Hi. Do you have any updates on tech yet? We haven't heard from them.
From tech, what question?
Are you talking about technology, madam?
No, the Votech school.
Oh, the Votech. So
Yeah.
So did you answer the survey? You would have been contacted if you answered the survey we sent out last week.
I answered it.
Okay, all right. So if you have not heard from now, you will hear definitely tomorrow.
Okay.
Because tomorrow's the last day we need to arrange for transportation.
Okay, yeah, because if it helps, I can take her. I just can't bring her home.
Okay, so we are working out transportation tomorrow. Mrs. Evans, I know, is on this call as well, and she's working on that tomorrow. Tomorrow, she gave a deadline that it's the final day that she could receive student names. So, you there, Mrs. Evans?
I am here, Mr. Barrett.
Okay.
If you need transportation for your student to Votech, if you could please email me at hevans@hanoverarea.net. I would appreciate that. I know Mr. Malloy and Mr. Sipper are going to be contacting you tomorrow. However, just shoot me an email in the morning and I will get them on the list.
Okay. But I also, though, I haven't heard from tech, so I'm just assuming like she'll just be ready to go Monday or.
All of our students are in there for tech. However, we just need to make sure who is actually going in person, who is going virtually, just so I know who I'm going to send up there. Votech is accepting students as far as the last update I heard. I just need to know who needs transportation up there, and I'll be happy to reach out to you tomorrow and get that information.
Okay, perfect.
Diane, do you have a question?
Hi, yes. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Dan.
Hi. Last year, my son was able to complete his work any time of the day, during the whole mess. So, if I understand it correctly, he will have to be logged on during specific times for his classes, and he won't be able to do it any time of the day. So he does have an IEP and struggles at times to keep up during in-person class time. And the problem is we have a laptop, but I'm working from home until mid-September, and our internet stinks. Someone mentioned earlier about classes being recorded. Do you know?
And there will not be classes recorded. However, there will be adaptations made that if there's more time needed, anything that is required to allow for success, obviously we're going to adapt and mold. I don't want to make things too personal for you on this call, but if you want to call that same number, what was it, 2300, Mrs. Bennett?
Yes, 831-2300 extension 285.
So our teachers are mindful of that and mindful of the time requirements or any type of adaptations or accommodations that need to be made. We will make the adjustments.
Okay, and he's also a tech student, and we didn't hear back. I did the survey, but we didn't hear back, so I guess I'll send an email.
Yeah, tomorrow's the deadline for that.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, I think that's all I got.
Thank you, Diane.
Thank you.
Aressa Grady? Aressa?
Hi, yes, I'm here. I'm actually here with my friend Erica. Her two kids are in school. One of her children, this is Mrs. Kitchen. One of her children are actually in.
No, both of them.
They have like a hands-on learning.
No, they have an IEP, and I was just wondering, with my son, they're in the behavioral classes, and like they need like the hands-on. Like I would need like I don't know how this would go, but like my phone is way too small for him. Like he's well known. My son's name is Khalil Jr.
Hi, Erica. It's Shannon. I know we
Hi,
just spoke
Shannon. Yeah.
the other day. If you want to give me a call tomorrow, we can talk
Yeah,
about
please
it.
No,
do
can you call me, please? Because I got their schedules and I'm not like I thought he was in the special ed class and none of it's on his schedule.
Let's try to give you guys a little more privacy and pick this up on a private phone call, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give you a
All
call
right, thank
tomorrow,
you.
Okay.
Erica.
Yes.
Okay.
Can you call me tomorrow, please?
Sure, will do.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Laura, do you have a question?
Yes, hi, thank you. I had a late meeting in work today and I couldn't log on to this meeting until about 5:45, but I think I've gathered that this was just to inform the parents that Chromebooks won't be issued, and my daughter's in 10th grade, she has her own laptop. Is there any other information or any other follow-up I need to do?
No, you know what? It's fantastic what you're saying because we're very shorthanded on equipment and devices. So if you could do that and have her log on Monday, well, on her own device and get us through the next 2 to 3 weeks, just as long as you have what you need, which is the schedule on the parent portal and the instructions that are on the website that gets you onto your 10th graders' Google Classrooms. Everything is right there on the parent port, on the Hanover Area School District website for instructions on both. Do you have all that information?
I do. And I was on the parent portal and you brought up the schedule. I did look at her schedule. It does appear that there's like fourth period is missing from like 9:23 until 10:15. There's a gap in time. Is that
There's a third period. Yeah, third period is missing because what we did was this year, we implemented a period called the WIN period, which is a what I need period. So it's an acronym. And so we took that out because right now we don't know what the students are particularly going to need. So we wanted to kind of get off the ground a little bit before we started implementing that period. So it's kind of a period where we would do some type of remediation or enrichment or an activities period. So it's kind of an open period to allow for students to expand their horizons a little bit.
Okay. Last year she was in the honors algebra 2 class, but there was an issue. The teacher was out sick and there wasn't a substitute. So basically half of the year, and then we had COVID, basically half of the year, she's missing half of the year of algebra 2. And I did talk to her guidance counselor and I was hoping that she could use that period for algebra 2. So when they're back in the classroom in October, is that an option? Should I talk to her guidance counselor?
Yeah, so let's not wait until then. So when we start on Monday, if you're seeing any type of deficiency based on that lapse in time, and we were mindful of that, but we're fully staffed now. So if you're seeing anything that you feel is a concern based on that lapse in time, then reach out to the school. Don't wait till October, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Maxwell? Maxwell?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes, I'm sorry. So I have a few questions, and I know that some of the things that he did touch on that I kind of tried to write down really quick as he discussed it. So one of the questions I have is when my son was in the LCC Center in Head Start, they were doing Google Class for the end of the year when COVID happened. Is that going to affect, because I thought that their classes were going to be Zoom, and I didn't know like it was going to be a Google Class. So is that going to affect it? I haven't been signed in there to know if they removed him from their classes or.
So what grade now?
He's going to start kindergarten.
Okay, so again, we sent out, are you a subscriber to the Remind app?
Okay, let me touch on that. So when the Remind app asked me the age, I had thought, well, my son's going to school, not me, and I put his birth date in there, and then it said, well, you need to get permission from your parents, and then Miss McCabe had removed me from the app. I'm still getting messages, but I know that she removed me from it, but I don't know if she was trying to figure out how to redo it so I could put my birth date in there instead of his.
Okay, so what we can do is this. Why don't you call tomorrow, and the reason I'm saying about asking you if you're on the Remind is if you are receiving our district messages to subscribe to the portal, okay? So the parent portal is going to allow you to see the teachers, the schedule, and the times.
Okay.
And also, on the same website, on our Hanover Area School District website, you're also going to have instructions for the Google Classroom.
Okay.
So it's probably going to be different from, you know, your previous setting, because it's a new teacher and it's
a new
new
school,
platform.
really.
So, yes,
Because
exactly.
that was Head Start.
Yes.
You know, so I don't know how that would.
Teachers, it's our classroom. So you're going to have to get onto our website and register for the parent portal, and also to get onto your child's Google Classrooms. So you need to log on to HanoverArea.org and get on there and register. There's instructions there to get onto your child's Google Classroom.
Okay, and is the student portal and the parent portal the same thing?
Yes.
Or is that
Yes.
okay?
Yeah, my mistake. If I said the student.
And another question I have is, so I'm hearing a week on and a week off. Now he'll be hybrid just because he's just not safe to be physically at school. Is hybrid a week in and a week out, or does he get the option to stay out until we kind of figure out this
yes.
thing? Okay.
But right now, remember, we're 100% virtual until October the 1st. And then around the second week of September, we're going to revisit that, pull everybody back together on a call just like this, and see what our community health looks like. See if we're going to continue to move forward.
Okay. I think that's all I have. But I will call tomorrow just to refresh. Okay.
It's Mrs. McCabe. I just wanted to tell Miss Brewer that I did remove the account with the wrong birth date, but I added her back in again with a different account, which is why she's still getting the messages.
Okay. Okay. So I don't have to redo the birthday thing then? Because it didn't ask me to do it again. Okay.
No, because I added you in, so you're good.
Sorry. I'm probably like one of the only people that put their child's birthday. I don't know. I apologize.
It's COVID,
This is
then.
new
It's
for
okay.
everyone. Thank you.
It's no
I
problem
appreciate
at
your
all.
time. You have a great night.
Okay,
Douglas, do you
Mrs.
have a
Kitchen, any more questions?
Yes, just a few more. Douglas, do you have a question?
Yeah, this is his wife Tanya. We have two kids one going into 6th and one in 9th. Now, I signed them up for cyber, but you said the hybrid, you have an option to stay out the whole time?
Yes, 100%.
Okay, so if I want to change them up to the hybrid, how do I do that?
Mr. Barrett, it's Miss Evans. I'll handle this one. Please email me at hevans@hanoverarea.net, and I'll be happy to make sure they are unenrolled from cyber, which is the Hanover Area Virtual Network. And then I will make sure once they're unenrolled from there, they automatically go into the hybrid, which will be Hanover teachers. So just to be clear, you want the Hanover teachers that they will have to be signed in for the entire school day.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so just email me and I will make sure that they are unenrolled from cyber and get them enrolled into the hybrid model.
Okay.
H. Evans at Hanover.
hevans@hanover.org.
How about a phone?
HanoverArea.net.
How about a phone number right now for this young lady?
Absolutely. Just call the main number, 570-831-2300. My extension is 121.
121.
Okay, 570-83. I'm sorry.
831.
Okay.
2300.
Extension 141.
121. 121.
121. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
I get out of work at 3 tomorrow, so I'll be giving you a call then.
That's
what was
fine.
the name?
I will be
What was the
there
name?
till 3:30.
What was the
Okay,
name?
thanks.
What was the name,
Tanya
kiddo?
Hall.
What is it?
My name is Tanya Hall.
Tanya Hall. Okay, thank you, Tanya.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Okay, thanks.
Carissa, do you have a question? Carissa? Okay, Jillian, do you have a question? Jillian?
Is that
Hello?
it, Mrs. Kitchen?
Yes, I'm here. Sorry.
Okay.
My phone wasn't on muting quick enough. My one question was that me and my girlfriend's son went to Northwest last year, and he has been going for emotional support. And they told us at the end of the year that he might go to Hanover, and we haven't gotten any information if he would go to Hanover this year.
Okay, you got a pen and a paper? We've been waiting for this call. We've been waiting for you to call, okay?
Oh, okay.
Okay, 831
Okay.
Hold on.
I wrote it on the thing, I believe.
831.
2300.
Yeah.
Mrs. Bennett, what's your extension again?
285.
285.
285. Perfect, Jillian.
Okay. All right.
Okay, let me see that.
We were waiting for you and you were waiting for us.
Okay.
Yeah, excuse me. No, I'm his mother, Michael Ullman. But no, it's just because like they never gave me any information from Northwest. They just told me about the LIU transferring to the district, and then also I did email because I did hear earlier about the email for the IDs and everything. So I got that squared away. But how do I set up the Google accounts for my son and her daughter, Harley D'Addario?
Well, let's talk tomorrow. Let's talk tomorrow and make sure that we're all in alignment, and then we'll get you the same the information on the same call, okay?
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question. This is Carissa.
Hi, Carissa.
Hi. My question was about like the daycares and stuff. They were going to. I'm pulling my son out of daycare, and I'm going to be at home with him. Now they have set times that they got to be on the computer and everything like that. Is there a way that I could talk with his new teachers, or is there not? Before school starts.
Yes, did you sign up for the parent portal?
Yes, I finally got that taken care of.
Okay, so do you have a list of the teachers?
Yes, I do. He's going in, it's Gavin Swigert. He's going into Mr. Weavers and Miss Cools.
Okay. All right, so what you can do is, so it's second grade?
Third grade.
Third grade, okay. So so you want to call Lee Park Elementary School.
Okay.
Tomorrow, and if you have any questions, let me give you the information for the building, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So stand by 1 second. So Lee Park Elementary, you have a pen and a paper?
Yep.
Okay, 824-4741.
Okay, and I was trying to get in touch with for special education too, Shannon.
Mrs. Bennett?
Yeah,
Yes.
if you, I'm here. If you want to give me a call tomorrow, I'll be in the office all day. It's 831-2300, and I'm at extension 285.
Yeah, I called the other day, but you were heading into a meeting.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Give me a call back tomorrow, and we'll talk.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
That's everything. Thank you.
Cherie Kim, do you have a question?
Look at his face.
Amanda? Go
Hi.
ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Is there anything else that we need to get our students prepared for the return on Monday besides a laptop? Like, is the laptop going to be, we have a laptop, but is that going to be the only thing she needs? Like, no paper or notepads or folders?
What grade are we discussing?
She's going into 4th grade.
Okay, all right, so just log in if you can, go on to our website this evening, okay? And then there'll be instructions to get on your child's Google Classroom there.
Yeah.
Once you get on there, there'll be, the teachers are slowly, over the last 2 days, and again tomorrow, going to be uploading their classroom materials. So allow for that to happen, and there'll be links there. We're trying to minimize any materials that are needed physically. Okay, we do not want students touching any materials that came from the school, any teachers touching anything that came from the community, just in case we're passing anything back and forth. So we're trying to do everything through links. So most of what you will need will be in that format, okay? So if there's anything that you do need that you see on that website, once you log on to the Google Classrooms, then you could call Memorial Elementary School and they'll get you what you need. Do you need that information as well? Memorial's number?
Yeah, please.
Okay, 822-5102.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
This is Sherry Kim. I just figured out how to unmute myself.
Congratulations.
It was hard. Thank you very much. Now you'll understand why I'm having a hard time. I am in the parental portal. I'm looking at my son's schedule. So I came in the meeting late and I apologize for that. Is it that children will sign on to the Google Drive? Like his start time is 7:35. So that means he has to sign in at 7:35 and then go from class to class according to the time schedule?
Yeah, so it's a high school student?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, so every single class period will be a link, and that'll be a standing link on a daily basis. Okay, so when your child logs in at 7:35, it's going to go right to first period. Your child will click on first period to go through, let's say it's mathematics. They'll go through math, then have to click the second period, let's say it's English, so on and so forth, and continue that process throughout the course of the day. Okay.
Okay. And will anything happen? Will he be counted absent or something like that? He has an IEP.
Okay.
Last year's schooling was horrendous. It was very stressful, to say the least.
Sure.
And some things took much longer. So when I look at the time frames, I'm concerned that he's not going to be able to finish things in that time frame. Does that mean then he would be counted absent or his grades would be incomplete?
Sherry,
No,
it's Shannon Bennett. This is kind of the similar situation, the similar conversation we had the other day about your other child. If you want to give me a call tomorrow and we can—
You're going to be so busy tomorrow, Mrs. Bennett.
That's okay. That's okay. If you want to give me a call tomorrow, we can work out something similar and discuss how we can help your son too.
Okay, that'll be great. And then as far as the VOTEC, I had talked to them last week and they had told me that things were going to be virtual as well. Has that changed? And I came in when you were mentioning transportation. They're now going to VOTEC?
You have the option now, so we can bend and mold to your wants and your wishes. So if you feel that your son would be better suited going up there and being hands-on, that he would be more productive and successful by going up there, well, they're providing that option, and so are we.
Okay, all right, thank you very much, and thank you for letting me speak. I appreciate it.
Have a good night.
You too.
Diana? Go ahead, Diana.
Yes. Hi, I'm here.
Go ahead with your question.
I have two children, one in 11th and one going into second grade. How does it work if I have one, say, in the hybrid and one in the— well, my 11th grade, he wants to do the hybrid, so he has to go throughout the day, he has to be logged in the whole day. Is that correct?
That is correct.
But if he's in the VOTEC program, how can he do the VOTEC from home?
No. Okay, so that's a great question. So if you can, try to log on to the parent portal, and you'll see that the morning or the afternoon will be etched out for your son to attend the Career Tech Center. So
he's in the afternoon program.
Okay, so the morning would just be classes online at Hanover Area School District with our teachers and then either you get a ride or take our buses up to CTC, or you could log on to their classes virtually as well if you do not feel comfortable allowing your child to attend any institution for the time being. So that's up to you. You complete that survey that we sent out last week?
Yes, yeah, I did.
Okay,
But
great. So
if we choose to decide not to just enroll him into the completely online, not through Hanover, is that still an option?
to not go 2 hours?
To just do the complete online
You don't
course?
want to attend CTC?
Well, I mean, the problem is that me and my husband both work, so it's hard having a 7-year-old and a 16-year-old doing work throughout the day with no help.
Okay, I understand. Okay, so how about this? How about we have a discussion tomorrow in a more private setting, and I'll get a little bit better assessment of your needs. Okay.
What is
Could you, so 831
okay.
2313.
Okay.
Okay,
I will be calling you probably around noon.
perfect.
Okay. Thank you.
I thank you. Okay.
Heather?
Hi, yeah, I was just calling. You guys are saying how they have to be online for all day. What is the times for kindergarten and first? Like, what time do they have to log on, and then what time will they log off? I just haven't seen that anywhere.
Okay, so kindergarten's going to start a little bit later. They're going to have what they're calling circle time, and that's going to begin at 9 o'clock. But that is laid out in the parent portal. So if you have not already, if you want to go to the website and look on how you register, it will give you.
I'm on it. I just didn't see the time I find it at.
And you know what? We again, as I said, I don't know if you were on earlier, and my apologies if you weren't. But we are going to have precise times put on there because that was a common issue that a lot of parents were running into on this call. So so we will put precise times so life's a little bit easier trying to manage who needs to be where.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Barrett. Nicole is our last question.
Okay. Hi, Nicole.
Hi. I just have a quick question for you. On the parent portal, for my 5th grader, it has our same teacher as last year for the homeroom. Did Miss Scene bump up to 5th grade, or is there a mistake on the portal?
Mr. Hummer, are you still there? I think we're working through teachers updating.
Mr. Barrett, it's Miss Evans. Yeah, Miss Scene
Barrett,
did
hi.
bump up to
sorry.
5th grade.
Yes, she did bump up to 6th grade.
Got it.
Yeah, Mr. Barrett, hi, it's Mantillon. Can you hear me?
Are you there, Miss Mantillon? Okay.
Oh, sorry. Miss Scene did change grade. Yes.
Okay.
Miss Scene did change grades, so that information would reflect as accurate.
Got it.
Because some of the students, even with this year, have the same teacher.
Okay, that's what I wanted to make sure. I didn't
Thanks,
know if
Miss
there was an error.
Mantillon.
That's it. Thank you.
You're welcome. And if there's
Thank
any
you,
other
Miss-
questions, if she could give me a call tomorrow. Okay.
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks, folks.
We do have one last question, if you're okay with it. It's Patricia.
Okay, yeah, let's wrap it up. Thank you.
Patricia?
Yes, hi. Just one last question. I know it's going to be virtual, but do the kids need to wear uniform or no?
No, not right now.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
That's it, Mr. Barrett.
Okay, folks. Thank you very much for your time. Again, I'll be in touch. There's my boy, James. Hi, James. Boss man.
What's up?
I miss you.
Hey,
Yeah, I
King
know.
James, we miss you, buddy.
I
miss you,
know.
pal. My man.
Yeah.
We got to get back into school, pal. I need your help. I miss you all summer.
I know.
All right, my man. You made my night.
I love you. I miss you.
I love you too.
Bye.
James.
Bye.
Bye-bye, my friend.
Okay. You don't know him? Mr. Barrett from your school? No?
That was inappropriate.